Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Kdub back with another video, and shout out to everybody that's watching and supporting the channel. Now, what you are about to see in this video is something that is very, it definitely shows that the cops are getting worse and worse each and every minute. Like, they're getting worse and worse, man. Like, I've already known and seen the couple of videos on Twitter of these cops doing some very fucked up shit. Like, there's already one video of them. Like I think I showed it on my last video, where these cops was showing these white people in outside the house. They were like on the porch or whatever, and the cops there was like mad cops, marching down the street, telling people, get back inside. But then one of the cops realized that these people wasn't getting inside. They decide to, say it again, hey, get inside. They hear a bunch of cops saying again, get inside, get inside, get inside. And they start shooting uh paint, or I don't know, some paint bullets or whatever. But they start shooting at him. And you hear him saying, ouch, get inside. This lady's telling everybody to get inside the house and shit. And they see a big ass light, shine at them while they're getting shot at by the cops. And it's just a very messed up situation. And I'm surprised a lot of people haven't really watched it, because I saw like only tens or 20 or 30 thousands of people, watching it at the time. So yeah, the government is they're just fucking up right now. Like, the way they are operating, especially these cops, it is not looking good at them at all. And then you had Trump saying the things that he said about shooting at looters and all that, and calling them terrorists, doing a photo op with the Bible in his hand in front of a church. And like, the things that he does is very dictatorship like. Like, he seems like he's operating like a dictator, because for him to have the cops, you know, pretty much push the protesters out of that street so he can just make a simple photo op, it's just it's very disgusting, man. And then you have helicopters. Like, he's doing a bunch of militaristic, tactics. Like having a helicopter, hovering over the crowds very, very low. Like, it's very low to the point where you can actually feel a whole bunch of wind, like it's literally under the crowd. And they're using that to try to disperse, people to, stop protesting and all that. Trying to, try to disperse the crowd, like they do in Middle Eastern countries like Iraq, or, you know, Iran, Afghanistan, those type of countries. And a lot it is, and now it's got to the point where they have these I forgot what you call them, but you know how back in the days where back in the Revolutionary War, they have these rifles and they got these knives at the end of the gun, where if you run out of bullets, you can actually stab a motherfucker. They actually doing that right now. Like, they have these cops, like these cops are starting to have those things on their guns, for the protesters. And what makes it even worse, like, they bringing in soldiers, they bringing in uh HOVs and military cars and all that shit, like Humvees. Like, they are just, it's about to be a war. Like, it's about to be another civil war, possibly in the next couple of days or months. And for Donald Trump, it seemed like to me like he's operating like, Hitler. And he really is acting like Hitler because the way that he's moving, the way he's operating right now, like the like it's hard for me to talk, man, because it's scaring the shit out of me right at this point. Because if a war is going on, I'm pretty much assed out. I'm pretty much assed out, and I would have to do some shit that I've never thought of even doing, which is, kill a motherfucker if I have to. And it's almost getting to that point, man. Like I'm already like I'm really hoping that this war don't happen. Like this war is happening, or even if the war does happen, Donald Trump becomes the next, dictator or king or whoever, and this country is not going to be represented by democracy anymore. Like that part of me is starting to scare the shit out of me. And if you're not even thinking, if you're not even scared of that thought, even that shit happening, then something's really wrong with you, man. Like it's already to the point where people are not really even talking about the protest or not talking about what's really going on, and they stay talking about some other shit that don't really mean anything at this point. Like there's still people and content creators on social media that are talking about something that's very irrelevant. Like they probably talking about some clothing that they probably talking about clothes trends, or they talk about relationships and all that, and it don't mean shit at this point. It don't mean anything. Like in this video, you literally have a guy that is interviewing, which I guess is the news, with his hands up the whole time, and you got these piece of shit cops pushing him down the ground, while the other cops is trying to tackle them as well, and he even got arrested for not doing a damn thing. I don't know if it's like a curfew during the duration of this video, but like the shit is crazy. It is crazy, man. But let me play it in a second. Make sure the sound is on.
My name is Miles Carter. I live in the town of Tonawanda. I don't live in the city of Buffalo. My mosque is over on Genesee Street.
But for real, look how these guys just coming in and just bull rushed them. Like, look at that. Got this dude dropping his hard hat on. Dropping his hard hat.
My name is Miles Carter. I live in the town of Tonawanda. I don't live in the city of.
And it's kind of funny. The moment the dude talked about the mosque, that's when they started, coming in and shit, talking about, I think, yeah, it's right here. Yeah, they already running. Yeah, man, like the shit is disgusting. And they got the dogs. It is, I can't, man. Yeah, like at this point, if they're for the protesters that are, they're like non-threatening protesters, like they're raising their hands up saying like don't shoot, or they're on the ground with their hands up trying to be as peaceful as possible. That shit's getting played out, man. That shit is seriously getting played out. It's really getting played out. And I'm about to show you the video why being a peaceful protester don't really mean shit at this point.
Y'all doing too much, blood. All he was doing was talking shit.
We gave you the chance to leave, right? You guys didn't want to. We ordered you to leave. You didn't want to.
No, don't get that. I made that on it.
And look. And look where the hell, like, these cops don't learn shit, man. They don't learn nothing. We are literally protesting for the same thing that this chick is doing. Talk about he had a chance to leave and y'all didn't do it. Like, okay, like even if someone was talking shit, that don't give you the right to do the same thing that got another black man killed. Like, just arrest him. Why y'all doing all this extra shit? Like having 3 or 4 dudes holding him down, and he's not even like shaking, you know, tussling or fighting with them. He's just laying there. And it's hard to fight back if you got 5 people on top of you. Like, am I wrong?
No.
Hang up, brother.
Nope.
Just hang up. Just hang up.
Nope.
Yeah, just hang up.
Are you injured?
Y'all do it.
Are you injured? What kind of shit? This
Brother.
Nope.
I'm about to play one more time. Are you injured? What kind of shit is?
Just hang up. Just hang up.
Nope.
Yeah, just hang up.
Are you injured?
Yeah, it's too late to be sympathetic, buddy. It's too late at that point. But this shit needs to stop, man. This shit needs to stop. Like, I ain't playing. Let me get this out of the way and show the comment section. And what? Okay, what? Why are these cops? Yeah, man, these cops saying, yeah, they are deliberately. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like these cops is trying their best to make people more and more angry, to find another reason to do this shit to us. Like, stick their knees in people's necks. I don't know, what is it of them fascinating about doing that shit to people? Yeah, exactly. He wasn't even moving. Like, what was the point? Oh shit. These damn hiccups. But yeah, man, like, she literally put her whole weight on his neck. And the police department, I don't know, man, like, if the police department really taught them to do that shit, they need to have that damn department disband and have other motherfuckers run it. And, you know, try to change the whole police culture, because this shit is getting ridiculous, man. It's getting beyond. Like, I'm very, like, it's very hard for me to talk right now because these cops don't really learn nothing. Like, they are some arrogant bastards. They are really some arrogant bastards, man. And they are even wondering why people are talking shit to them or doing the shit they do to them. It's because of shit like this. They don't learn nothing, man. Like, as time and time goes on, there's gonna be people that will have no problem shooting the cop. Like, it's almost getting to that point where people is gonna have no problems, you know, shooting at them, fighting them, you know, whatever. Like I'm so beyond upset at this point. Because look at him. Like, he's literally laying there. She's putting her whole weight on his neck. And you can literally hear in the video that his handcuff, like, he's already handcuffed. And then this piece of shit motherfucker talking about, are you injured? Yeah, man. And, I'm sorry for being so quiet in this video, because the more and more I look at these videos, the more I'm like, in the future, like at this point in history, cops is already getting looked at as someone to not be taken seriously. We're at to the point where in Italy, the mafia, happened. Like the whole point of the mafia existing is because of cops like these that take advantage of their position of power and just, abuse it. They take advantage of the kind of the little power that they have and just abuse it. Like they're supposed to enforce it, not just take it by their own hands and just do whatever the hell they want. Like those cops be bribing them, they be extorting them, they be killing them. They be just there's another word I'm looking for, but they just making them as an example as to what to do if you, I would say if you don't, if you like fight back or whatever, but it's almost like these cops, like, for these cops, it's almost like they just have something to prove. And this whole, stereotype of them, being a victim of bullying, and the only way to get back at, people is to be a cop, is starting to be true. Like, it's really starting to be true. Because if you because I already know about this as cops, because like, just for example, if you talk to a cop, like literally like have a conversation with them, but I wouldn't like I would say talk to the cops right now, willingly talk to them, but you can, like, before all this happened, like you can have a conversation with a cop, and and you would ask them like, how'd you became a cop? Most of the time, if they're really honest, they was, bullied as they were kids in school, and as they get older, they became cops. They would, excuse me, they would like treat other people like shit, and if those people actually try to talk back, or they just make those cops look stupid in the public eye, they would do whatever it takes to harass that person, try to make their life a living hell, just do whatever it takes to make people's lives, miserable as they can. And that is, the biggest reasons when it comes to cops. I don't know what the hell was that, but and this whole hashtag White Lives Matter, like I'm definitely gonna talk about this on my next video. I'm definitely gonna be talking about this on my next video, because I saw this earlier, and like I don't know, man, like Twitter has been going ridiculous. Because I already know when it comes to Twitter, it gets ridiculous when it comes to what is going on right now, which is the protests. But you've seen all these ridiculous hashtags like White Lives Matter or All Lives Matter, trending and all that. And, it's hard to talk about every single thing that happens, but we definitely need to talk about how to, in this bullshit. Like, we definitely need to talk about this protest as much as we can, because if we don't, then this whole, letting people know on social media is going to be going down the drain. So definitely help, people like me and everybody else that's letting the public know how these cops are operating, expose them, protest at the best of your abilities. Definitely, not looting. I don't condone looting businesses and all that, but at this point, I don't really care at this point, because at this damn time, a lot of people are talking about, don't loot these buildings, stop the rioting when they do peaceful protest. And it did really got me thinking, the more and more I hear about that, is it really about the protest, or is it really about the money? And I am just playing, devil's advocate, because I'm like, even celebrities are talking about, like, people that are looting, or terrorists and all that, not even realizing that there are undercover cops, or there are other white people, like there's a group called Antifa, groups like that. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but Antifa, which is a far I think it's a far left or far right group that does get people's attention by doing violent things, is actually now considered a terrorist group. But to call protesters terrorists, that's some bullshit right there. So for me, I actually condone protesting. I condone rioting. I don't really condone loitering, but it is what it is at this point. It is what it is, man. But for me, as a black person, to tell people not to riot, or not to, protest, which, when it comes to protesting, that's like a constitutional right. Like, as people, we can pretty much protest about anything. But for what the government is actually doing, and what the cops is doing, it's pretty much tyranny. Like, it's definitely tyranny. And my bad, I'm actually looking at these dogs. But it's really tyranny that we're fighting against. So because that's why I'm actually looking at people the sideways. I mean, looking at people with the side eye. That is not, with the cause, but what I understand, man, because people are scared, and I understand people are getting scared, but people don't really understand that if you're not, fighting for the cause, you're kind of letting, the government win. You're kind of letting the government doing whatever fucked up shit to you. And this is why we're actually, as protesters, like, this is the reason why the protesters are actually doing what they're doing. It's because if we don't win, then the government will the government will for real punish us, and they'll even go harder on the prejudice, and racist practices that they've been doing for years, like for hundreds of years. So, and I think that's all I got to say about this. I definitely will, like I said, talk about the whole hashtag white lives matter, and hashtag all lives matter. And I definitely will talk to soon. Be safe out there. Get strapped up. Protect yourselves. And talk to y'all later, man. Deuces.